Hello, and welcome to Jedi training today. If you are here, that means that you found this secure channel for the Resistance. So what we're actually doing here today is we're going to do some training. I believe here on your planet it looks a lot like yoga, but this is very important Jedi training because we need more of you out there to fight the First Order. So thank you for joining us today. Oh, hello BSBK and Almost as Cool. Thank you for joining us. So the main thing that you will need today, well, I mean, if you have your lightsaber, that is quite helpful, but you don't have to have it. You could use something that is similar in size. Could be a stick, a broom handle if you have one of those. Anything along those lines will also work. But you don't have to have one at all. I know that you may be new. You maybe have never even held a lightsaber before, or I guess it's entirely possible you've not even heard of one before. Well, if not, that this is what it is. You turn it on, and it's a lot like this. Sorry, that might have been a bit loud. They can be quite loud. Don't need it right now. But let's go ahead and begin. As you see right here, we are raising funds for the Resistance as well. Every little bit helps, and if you can't donate to the Resistance, that's just you being here is very helpful. You can get the word out to other like-minded individuals. Just avoid the First Order at all costs. Alright, so let's begin. Yes, let me move this so you can actually hear me. Move it over here. Let me know if you lose the ability to hear me. I've heard that happens. 1 second. All right. Oh, thank you so much, BSBK. Thank you for that. For that subscription. 1 moment, actually. I don't know why that didn't show up. Looks like it did. Okay. And may the Force be with you. Thank you for joining us. So, today we are going to begin. You can set your lightsaber down for the moment. We're going to begin seated, or you can begin standing or on your back, whatever feels best for you. But we just want to connect with the Force for a moment here. So go ahead and close your eyes. Turn your attention to the breath. And the Force is all around you. So focus on breathing it in. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. And just continue this. On those exhales, let it be an audible sigh. Feeling the body relax. And turning your attention to the now, to the present. We want to be completely aware of our surroundings. So notice what you hear. Notice what you feel. And just let those sounds come to you. We want to hear someone before they sneak up on us. This is a good way to start. And let's switch to breathing in and out through the nose. Good, and then from here, we're going to start by warming up some of the main muscles that we'll need. Oh, hello, Ghost Hack. Oh, yes! I heard that you were, that you just had a child. That's wonderful. New children for the Resistance are always quite helpful. But thank you for dropping in. You can spread the word. All right, so let's begin. Let's actually come to seated if you're anywhere else. And let's begin by sweeping both arms up on an inhale, while exhale, bringing hands to the heart. And just continuing this way. Yes, children of the Force. Good, continue this way for a moment. I just want to double check that you all can actually hear this music. You could not hear it, as is per usual. I've heard that this particular program sometimes causes issues. Good, now hopefully you can hear the music as well. Continuing this, let's switch on the next inhale. We're just going to stretch one arm up so we can stretch through this side of the body here. We'll exhale back down. We'll inhale the other arm. And just continuing from side to side a few more times. One more on both sides. Good, and we'll meet back at center. From here, let's go ahead and swing feet around. We're going to come to all fours, so we can warm up the spine a little bit, so we're prepared for anything. So all fours, make sure joints are stacked, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to start with cat-cow. So start with cat on an exhale, rounding through the spine. We'll inhale, cow, curving through the spine. Good, and just going with the breath, moving from the tailbone to the head. Let's find one more through both. Right, and then we're going to come back to a neutral spine, just like this. And we're going to switch to spinal balance. So we can focus on our balance. It's very important whenever you are wielding a lightsaber at points. So on an inhale, take the right arm and the left leg out in line with the spine, reaching from heel to fingertips. Exhale, release. Next inhale, switch sides, left arm, right leg. Good, and just continuing from side to side. Always with the breath. We always want to breathe deep. If you hold your breath, then you might not be able to react fast enough. Let's find one more on both sides. Good, and then after the last one, we're going to come back to a child's pose. So sitting back on your heels, forehead to the mat, and just take a moment. You can rock side to side, massage the hips if you'd like. Good, and then from here, let's make sure the arms are nice and strong. So we're going to move through a few push-ups. So for these, we'll inhale forward to kneeling plank. So shoulders are over wrists, hips are past knees. Shift the body weight forward a little bit more. Bend elbows to kneeling crocodile on an exhale. Inhale, come back to kneeling plank. Exhale, child's pose. Good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jody, for the follow. Welcome. Let's do one more, or let's do a few more actually. So we'll come back forward to kneeling plank. Exhale, shift forward a bit. Bend elbows to kneeling crocodile. Inhale, back to kneeling plank. Exhale, child's pose. Good, continuing at your own pace a few times. Let's do one more. And let's meet back in child's pose after the last one. Good, then here we're going to switch to down dog. So curl toes under, lift the tailbone to the highest point, and we'll alternate heel press. So pressing down on one heel, bending the other knee, switching back and forth. Go with the breath, always breathing. It's important to keep your calm if you're ever in a tense situation. So the breath helps with that. All right, from here, let's sweep the right leg straight up and back. Right, we're going to flow through core plank a few times to get nice and warm. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Inhale, come back. And just go with the breath. Hello, welcome to anyone who's joining us. We are training to fight the resistance. You have to be strong to be able to fight. Good, we're going to meet in the next core plank. We'll lift a little higher, make room, step all the way through to a lunge. My lunges, I'm going to use these blocks, the yoga blocks. You do not have to have them. You can have hands on the mat. You can have hands on something else, could be a chair. Good, but make sure the front knee stacks on top of the front ankle. On an inhale, we'll lift the hips. Exhale, bring them back down. Good, and just continuing with the breath. Exactly, T-Boys. Let's find one more. We'll come back to the lunge after the last one. We'll step back to down dog, alternate heel press just a few times here. And let's switch sides, flowing through core planks. We'll sweep the left leg straight up and back. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, shift shoulders forward. Inhale, kick back. Good, just going with the breath at your own pace. Good, let's meet in the next core plank. Lift a little higher, make room, step through or help the leg through to a lunge. Again, hands on the mat or on something else if you want. Just make sure it's stable. Make sure the front knee stacks on top of the front ankles. We'll move through this lunge, inhaling as you lift the hips. Exhaling, bringing them back down. And just continuing with the breath. Let's find one more. Meeting back at our lunge. This time we're going to step forward to forward fold. And then here, we'll inhale, reverse swan dive. So we're going to bend knees, hinge from the hips, sweep arms all the way up. Good, and we're going to switch to a chair flow. So sitting back, waving to the heels and hips, arms sweep forward. We'll inhale back up and just continue with the breath at your own pace. As you do this, I'm going to turn my music down a bit. Just in case it's too loud. Right, continuing to flow. Let's find one more of these. Then we're going to switch to a sun salutation. So on an exhale, swan dive all the way down. Come back to forward fold. Good, and then we're going to inhale, lift halfway to monkey. So hands on the mat or the shins, torso just coming halfway up. Good, then let's release. We'll step back to child pose, or if you know the full version and would like to do it now, feel free. Otherwise, follow me. So on an inhale, we'll come forward to kneeling plank, like earlier. Shift forward, exhale, kneeling crocodile, and then release hips and belly all the way to the mat. Just use the core to lift the shoulders into low cobra, hands close to rest. Exhale, lead with the hips, keep the back flat and to come all the way back to child pose. Then we'll step to the tops of our mats into forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, chair. Good, inhaling back up. Exhale, swan dive down. Good, inhale, monkey. Exhale, option for down dog or child's pose. Down dog's the full version. Please feel free to do the previous one. So we'll inhale forward, a plank. That can be on or off the knee. Shift forward onto the toes. Exhale, crocodile, on or off the knee. Inhale, pull the belly button through, flip over the feet. So up dog or low cobra. Then exhale, come back over the toes to down dog or child's pose. And then we can walk back or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Good, exhale, chair. We'll inhale back up. Let's exhale, mountain, hands by our side. All right, so at this point, I think it's time we've moved through our warm-up. It's time to grab the lightsaber or whatever you have that can stand in for it. If you don't have one at all, that's okay. You can just act like you have one. So we're going to fight warrior one. This is a good stance to take. So for this, we're going to step back with the right foot into warrior one. The right foot's going to turn at about 45-degree angle so that the hips can still turn forward. Front knee is bent. You turn on your lightsaber if you like. And then once here, we're just going to take it and going to hold it up this way. So start at the front, hold it up this way. All right, now turn so you can see. So sort of creating a window here. Holding here, press down into those feet. Reach through the top of the head. Good. Find those deep breaths. You want to be able to build up the strength in these legs. So we've prepared. You don't want to have lots of knees. So long as you can't hold a bend like this, you might grow tired in a fight. It's dangerous. So let's find one more deep breath. I'm going to turn back this way. On the exhale, actually I'll go this way. On the exhale, let's release this. We're going to switch to warrior two. This is another very important pose. So for that, turn the back toes out so they're about parallel to the short edge of the mat. Front knee is bent, both feet are in line. And this time we're going to practice weight on the arms. So take your lightsaber in one hand, you're going to extend it all the way out, palm down, back hand is up as well. Holding here, pressing down into those feet, breathing deeply, gazing over that front hand. You can see he's tapping. This is if you need a reach. This would be a thrust pose that you might do. You wouldn't normally do with a lightsaber, it's a bit heavier as a weapon, but you never know what will happen, so you might want to be prepared. Good. From here, find one more deep breath. On the exhale, let's release the arms, turn the hips back forward. Take the lightsaber in both hands. We're going to switch to warrior three. This is really good one with balance. We'll see back here so you can see it. So for warrior three, we'll bring weight and balance into the front foot. We're picking up the back legs. You take arms over the head, the lightsaber, and tilt forward as far as feels comfortable. You can be up higher. Good. Or if this is uncomfortable, you can hold the lightsaber towards the chest. It also works. If you don't have one, just take both arms out or place them down by the hips or together at the heart. But holding here, finding that balance. Reach from all the way to that tip of the lightsaber back through the heel. The next inhale, bend that left knee, will come back up. From here, you can set the lightsaber down for a moment. Let's inhale both arms up. Exhale, swan dive. And let's step back to down dog. We'll hold the pose, breathe into the legs, make sure the hamstrings, the calves get a nice stretch. Good, and then from here, let's move through a vinyasa. So this is the middle part of the sun salutation. You can start in down dog or child's pose, your choice. But inhale forward to full or kneeling plank. Shift forward, exhale full or kneeling crocodile. Shift forward, inhale up dog or low cobra. And exhale back to down dog or child's pose. Good, then from here, let's walk a step back to the top of the mat. Go ahead and grab that lightsaber once again. We'll inhale, we'll come up. You can turn it on if you like. I will do so. All right, so from here, this time we're going to step back with a left foot for warrior one. So again, the back toe, we'll turn this way so you can see it hopefully. The back toe is at about a 45-degree angle, so the hips can still turn forward, but that foot can be flat. Front knee is bent. We'll bring arms up, and this time we'll go to the other side. All right, so again, we're just bending that elbow. You're creating a window with this left arm that you can look through. Pointing the lightsaber forward. Holding here. Breathe deep. This is how we get the muscles strong to hold poses in case you need to. You never know what you might need to do. Maybe you're sneaking and you need to be very still. And you're in a strange position. You never know. Anything can happen. So let's find one more deep breath. On the exhale, we can release this pose. We'll switch to Warrior Two. So again, we're readjusting the back foot so that it's about parallel to the short edge of the mat. Right knee, right toes stay pointed forward. Right knee is bent. And this time we'll take the lightsaber in the right hand, extending it out, taking the left arm up, put palm down on both. If you don't have a lightsaber, just bring both arms up, palms facing down. Good. Bend the front knee, sink down into this lunge, reach up through the top of the head. And welcome to anyone who's just now joining us. Welcome for finding, or good job finding this secure channel. Hopefully the first order hasn't found it yet. Good, let's find one more deep breath. On the exhale, go ahead and release the arms and switch to Warrior Three. So again, we're going to turn the hips in first, take the lightsaber in both hands if you have one, and then we'll bring weight and balance forward into that front foot, scoot back so more room. With the lightsaber, you can take the arms over the head, extending it out, so it's adding a bit of weight, making sure the arms, the back is nice and strong. You can also have the lightsaber here to the heart if that feels too intense. If you just have hands, you can take hands out at the heart or down by the hips, palms facing the mat. Your choice. So continuing to breathe, continuing to hold. Don't want to stab these books. Good, next exhale, let's hinge, let's come back up. You can turn the lightsaber off and set it down for a moment. We'll inhale both arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Good, let's step back to down dog. Let's hold the pose for just a moment. Yes, it is helpful to do the poses with a lightsaber. And I will admit it does feel pretty cool as well. So let's move through another vinyasa. This time I'm going to do the kneeling version. You can do either. So starting in child's pose or down dog. Inhale to a plank. Shift forward. Exhale to crocodile. Shift forward. Inhale up dog or low cobra. And exhale back to down dog or child's pose. Good, and then from here, let's go ahead and step or walk back to the top of the mat. You can grab your lightsaber once again. Inhale through the swan dive all the way back up. Alright, so from here, we're going to find a twisting chair pose. So for this one, we're going to bring legs all the way together. So legs, knees, thighs, everything's all the way together here. We're going to sit to chair first, bring the lightsaber to the heart. And then we're just going to let the belly go first, to the right we'll say. So belly first, we'll work up the spine, head last. Bring the lightsaber over to the side, we're going to hold here. And you can play with bending the knees a bit further if you want. You can even drop this left elbow down to the thigh if you want. Or you can be up a lot higher, so I'll show you this way. You can be up here, you can drop down. So it's just about bending the knees deeper. So find those deep breaths. So next exhale, let's come back to center. Let's come all the way up for a moment, and then exhale, come back to the chair. We're going to switch sides, come this way. So again, belly will go first to the left, to the opposite side, head last. So you can bring the lightsaber around again. You can bend the knees deeper to get this right elbow down to the thigh, or you can stay up higher. But continuing to breathe deep, we want to inhale the force, take it into the body, always breathing. Welcome if you're just joining us. We are training for the resistance. For the next exhale, let's come back to center. Inhale. inhaling all the way up and exhale down. All right, from here, step the feet back out so they are about hip socket distance. So that means ankles, knees are in line with the hip sockets. Toes are pointed forward. Taking the lightsaber in the right hand, take that right arm to the sky, left hand to the left side, and then reach the lightsaber as high as you can go, and let the rest of the body peel away from that right arm. So we're breathing into this right side here. Good. If you don't have a lightsaber, it's just a hand up. You can press into that right foot as well, but focus on those deep breaths, sending them into the ribs there, making sure it's nice and open. The next exhale, let's go ahead and release. Let's switch sides. Take the lightsaber in the other hand. Same thing, reach it up to the sky, right hand to the right side, peel the body away from that left arm, continue to reach up through that lightsaber, or through that left hand, press into the left foot, focus on the breath. Find one more deep breath. On the exhale, release, come back down. You can set the lightsaber down for a moment. Inhaling, both arms up. Exhale, swan dive back down. And we'll step back to down dog. Take another few moments here. Yes, my ceiling is also a bit short here. So let's move through another vinyasa. I'll do the full version this time. So we'll inhale forward to plank, on or off the knees. Shift forward, exhale crocodile. Inhale up dog or low cobra. Exhale back to down dog or child's pose. Good. Then from here, let's sweep the left leg straight up and back. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest, shift forward, and come up through to a lunge. Good, and that's it with the kneeling lunge. So I'm going to drop my knee to the mat. You can add cushion underneath that knee if you want. And sink the hips forward a bit here. So stretching this back right hip flexor. And then we're going to add a back bend. So you take your lightsaber here. You're going to take it to the sky over the head. Good, and we're looking up towards that lightsaber. If you don't have one, you can just bring arms up. We want to continue to sink the hips forward so we can continue to stretch that right hip flexor. And we've added the back bend. Make sure you don't take the head back too far. Good, next exhale to release. We'll come back down. From here, let's switch sides. So go ahead and step back to down dog. We'll switch. We'll sweep the right leg straight up and back. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Shift or step through to that lunge. You can drop the back knee, and we'll start by just sinking the hips forward for a moment. Holding here. Good, then let's add the back bend. So take the lightsaber to the sky. Keep the hips coming forward. Good, or you can just bring your arms up if you don't have a lightsaber. Next exhale, let's go ahead and come back down. Let's step back to down dog, holding here for another few deep breaths. Good, and while you do that, I want to check to make sure that you all are there. Yes, we did. Good, just wanted to make sure those were working properly. Alright, so we're in down dog here. Good. From here, we're going to come forward to plank. Can be full or kneeling, your choice. So knees on or off the mat. But make sure the spine is nice and long. Hello, welcome if you're just joining us. We are training for the resistance. Keep breathing deep. Remember, if you hold your breath, you could be potentially signing your own death certificate. Must continue to breathe. Good, next exhale, come back to down dog. But then from here, let's go ahead and walk back to the top of the mat. You can bring your lightsaber with you. We'll reverse swan dive, coming all the way up, bringing the lightsaber to the heart. So from here, we're going to focus on balance a bit more. We'll do a tree pose. So bring weight and balance to the left foot. We'll come up onto the right toes, turning the right knee out and pull the right foot into the left. All right, so you can keep this foot down here on the mat. You could bring it up to the calf, or you can bring it up to the thigh. If you're going to do the thigh, take the leg out first and then lift it up, because you want to be entirely above or below the knee. You don't want any part of the foot on the knee. And then with your lightsaber, you can find any variation that feels best. You can keep it here at center. You can bring it up towards the sky. You could take it out to the side. Just remember what hand you have it on if you do this option. But whatever feels best. I'll hold here. And if you don't have a lightsaber, you can have hands at prayer position or the other options as well. But find those deep breaths and focus so that you can hear what's around you, so that you can listen to the body, so you can hear the force. Let's find one more deep breath. On the exhale, you can release the arms, release the legs, shake them out if you'd like. And we'll switch sides. We'll bring weight and balance to the right foot. Come up onto the toes of this left foot, turn the left knee out, pull the left foot into the right. And again, the foot can stay on the mat, you can go to the calf, you can lift it all the way up to the thigh. Just make sure the foot is entirely above or below the knee. And then again, your lightsaber can come right here to the center, you can take it out to the side, you can take it to the sky. Your choice. Good. Focus on those deep breaths. Find the balance. Trust yourself. The harder you fight, the harder you try in a balance pose, the harder it becomes. Through the 4 to 12. One more deep breath. On the exhale, let's go ahead and release this pose. And then right now we can set the lightsaber down once again. So let's inhale both arms up. On an exhale, we'll swan dive down and take a moment here and forward fold. You can shake, you can nod the head, you can cross the arms, you can wrap them around the legs, whatever feels best. Just take a moment, letting the neck and shoulders release. All right, and then from here, let's step back to all fours. We're going to switch to a camel pose. So if you want to add some cushion under the knees, do so now. You can roll up the mat a little bit and use anything you have. I have a meditation pad here. All right, and you can have the feet flat or toes curled under. It's your choice. But let's come all the way up into this kneeling position. And in this kneeling position, make sure that your knees are in line with the hip sockets. There's about 2 to 3 inches between them. All right, and we're squeezing those thighs together a little bit to help support the core. Bring hands into fists, place them on either side of the spine at this bony part right at the top of the hips, or palms if you prefer. And we're going to start to press elbows and shoulder blades towards one another, like you're trying to touch the elbows together. Lift the heart, and then press the fists into the hips and let the body fall back. And just just come back as far as feels comfortable. Don't crunch the neck, so you don't take the head back too far. But we're holding here, breathing into the heart. Feeling it open with each inhale. Find one more deep breath. Exhale, gently release this. We're going to come down to a rabbit pose. So it looks a lot like child's pose, but it's a bit different. So we'll curl the toes under for this as we sit back on our heels. And then around the back, we're bringing the very top of the head towards the mat. And we'll reach back with our hands to grab the heels. And then we're leaning forward just a little bit. And we want the head to mostly hang over the mat. So we're not putting weight on it. We're just stretching the back and the shoulders here. Next exhale, let's release to child's pose. You can uncurl the toes and just take a moment here. Alright, next inhale, let's come back to all fours. Let's go ahead and sink hips to one side, we'll swing the legs around, placing them flat on the mat. Alright, and then once here, you can grab your lightsaber once again. Just have it nearby because we're going to have a few options. So we're going to find a boat pose. It's very good for the core. Start by placing hands behind the knee joint on the thigh, and we're going to lean back a little bit, so we're balancing on these sits bones and butt bones. And one at a time, we'll bring both legs up. So you have some options. You can hold here, you can hold onto this lightsaber right underneath if you like, or you can turn it on and hold it out in front of you. All right, but make sure the spine stays nice and straight. So we're using it as counterbalance a bit here if you do it this option. It's more intense if you take this option, but find those deep breaths. Focus. Good, next exhale, let's gently release the feet back to the mat. You can set the lightsaber down once again. From here, we're going to stretch the hamstrings a bit so we can make sure we're nice and loose in case we need to do lots of flips. Those happen sometimes. So let's start by extending the left leg out. Keep the right knee bent. Let this right knee fall open. Bring the right foot into the left thigh as high as feels comfortable. And then once here, make sure this left foot is flexed. Nice long spine. And then on an exhale, hinge from the hips, walk the hands down the leg, holding here. And we're just looking for the stretch in the hamstring, but make sure the spine remains straight so we don't tax the low back too much. Focus on those deep breaths. In, breathing in the force. Feeling it course through the body, and exhaling out. Find one more deep breath. And then on the exhale, let's come back up. And we're going to switch to a twist. So draw this right knee up. Place the right foot flat on the mat. It can stay right here, or you could cross the right foot over the left thigh, whatever feels best for you. Make sure the spine is nice and long, and we're twisting towards the lifted leg or the bent knee. So whenever you're ready, belly goes first to the right, head last. And I'll turn this way so you can not look at my back, instead look at my face. So belly first, head last. And you can wrap this left arm around the right thigh. You could cross the left elbow over it. This right hand can be behind the hip. Just make sure you don't lean back on it. You could also find a prayer position here if you want. But continue to sit nice and tall. Focus on the breath, always on the breath. Let's find 2 more deep breaths. On that second exhale, come back to center. Go ahead and uncross this right foot if it's crossed. We're going to switch to cradle the baby. So with this pose, there's lots of options. Start with hands behind the hips, fingers turning in towards the body. We'll draw the left leg up. We're going to cross it over the right thigh, like this. Good. And then what we're looking for is a stretch here in this left outer hip and glute. So if you feel it here, go ahead and stay. If you don't, you can draw the right foot a little bit closer to the body. You can also hold on to the legs seated nice and tall. So it's up to you. Just make sure the spine is straight, whatever option you take. And just find those deep breaths. Keep this foot flexed. Find 2 more deep breaths. On that second exhale, let's go ahead and release the legs. And we're going to switch sides, starting with our hamstring stretch. So I'll turn this way. We're going to extend the right leg out this time. Make sure the ankle is coming right out of the hip socket as well. Left knee is bent. Let the left knee fall open. Bring the left foot to the right side as high as feels comfortable for you. And then make sure the spine is nice and long. That right foot is flexed. And on an exhale, if it's comfortable, you can hinge forward from the hips. Holding here. Make sure the spine remains straight. Focus on those deep breaths. One more deep breath. We exhale to hinge. Let's come back up. We'll find a twist on this side. So draw the left leg back up. And again, you can keep the foot here. You can cross it over the right thigh or the right leg. And then make sure the spine is nice and long. When you're ready, belly goes first to the left or towards this lifted leg. And then you can place this left hand behind the left hip. You can wrap the right arm around the left leg. You can cross the right elbow over the left knee. You can find a prayer position on this side if you'd like. So find the variation that feels best for you. Continue to sit nice and tall. Focus on the breath. Focus on the force. Let's find one more deep breath. And on the exhale, we can turn back to center, uncross this left leg. And then we're going to switch to cradle the baby. So for that, place hands behind the hips, fingers turning in towards the body. Draw the right leg up, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And again, we're looking for the stretch in the right outer hip and glute. So you can stay here, you can pull this left foot in closer, you can hold this pose seated tall. Oh, wonderful, Jodie. Well, I'm sorry you have to leave. Maybe you can catch up the rest later, but thank you for joining us. May the force be with you. Yes, it does, indeed. That's very important. Let's find 2 more deep breaths. On that second exhale, let's go ahead and release the legs here. And then we're going to switch to butterfly. So I'll turn this way, let the knees fall open, bring soles of the feet together. Sitting nice and tall here. If you feel like you're falling backwards, elevate the hips. Use a blanket, a block, roll up the mat, a pillow, anything you have so you can sit a bit higher, which can help. Good, and then once here, you can hinge forward from the hips if it feels like there's more room for the stretch. You can also, with hands on ankles if you come forward, press elbows into the thighs. You could walk hands out in front of you if you prefer. Just avoid holding on to the toes. It's very common, but when we do that, you're actually pulling on all these tiny little joints here. We want to avoid that. You've got to protect the toes. They help with balance, which is very important if you're doing lots of flips as a Jedi. Let's find 2 more deep breaths. On that second exhale, go ahead and come back up. Let's bring the legs back together and we're going to switch to tabletop. So for this one, find ankles and knees in line with the hip sockets. Hands are behind the hips, fingers turn in towards the body. And on an inhale, we'll lift the hips up as high as feels comfortable. We'll hold here. Chin can stay tucked in or head can go back in line with the spine. So just find those deep breaths. Make sure elbows don't lock. Find 2 more deep breaths. Second exhale, let's go ahead and release. Good. And then from here, let's actually come back to our backs. We're going to come to one side. So as you come back, place both hands behind one leg to come back, and then take the right arm over the head and we'll roll on to that right side. We're going to stretch the quad here. So bend the top left knee, reach back with the left hand to the ankle, flex the foot. If you can't quite grab the ankle, hook something around it. Anything you have will work. Good, and then we're flexing the foot so toes point towards the other side of the mat. And then press the ankle into the hand and make sure the joints stay in line. So avoid lifting the knee up at all. Keep it right here in line with the hip. Focus on the breath. Always on the breath, sending it into the stretch. Next exhale. Let's go ahead and release the leg. Keep the knee bent, draw the knee in towards the chest. We'll find another twist. So we'll extend the leg out in front of us. Let the left shoulder open to the mat behind you. Taking arms out to a T and release into this twist. Next exhale, let's come back to center. We're going to switch sides. So for you, you can just roll onto your back, take the left arm over the head, and roll onto that left side. I'm going to come this way so you can see me. Good. And then once here, bend the right knee, reach back for the right hand, or for the right ankle with the right hand. Good. Flex the foot. Keep that knee in line with the hip socket. Breathe into the stretch. Think about pressing the ankle into the hand, as if you're trying to press the foot away from the body. Let's find one more deep breath. On the exhale, release that ankle. Draw the knee towards the chest and extend the leg out in front of you. And then let the right shoulder open to the mat behind you, taking arms out to a T. Releasing into the twist. Next exhale, let's come back to our backs. Now we're going to switch to a final meditative state here. You can lay flat on your back if you want, or you can come up to an easy seated pose here. Whatever feels best. But once here, find a comfortable position. Turn attention back to the breath, letting it be full. Focusing on the energy around you. Finding that peaceful state right where you are. Not closing anything out. We want to be fully aware. Aware of the sounds, aware of what we feel. Aware of any energy. But if you catch the mind wandering about, bring it back to your surroundings. Feel the force. It's all around you. You can feel the energy around you. You have to be able to hear it, to feel it before you can ever use it. Let's begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Add wrists and ankles, rotating them around. stretch arms over the head. If you're on your back, you can also reach out through the toes. And let's add the face, open the eyes wide and the mouth, stick out the tongue, take a deep exhale. And then if you're on your back, go ahead and roll onto one side and come up to seated. And once here, let's find one more deep breath, sweeping arms to the sky. Exhaling hands back to the heart. Taking a moment just to connect once again with the energy around you. Thank you all for joining me today for the Resistance. May the Force be with you. So I hope that you feel like you've found a little bit of training to begin. I'll come over here. Hopefully you can still hear me. Right, but you have to start somewhere, right? So this is a very good place to start. Move over here. Yes, thank you. And again, we do have, we are raising funds for the Resistance here. So if you like the training that you had today, it is very helpful for me to continue to bring this training to you in the future. There is a donate button right below that is Streamlabs. If you would prefer not to use that donation link, there is PayPal right below that you can also use. It won't pop up on the screen, but I will add it later. But again, thank you all for joining us today. Make sure that you do keep this secure. Just share it, this link, this channel, share it only with others that you trust to join the Resistance in the future. It's very important that we keep it secret so we can continue to train. But if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Oh, thank you, BSBK. Oh, yes, thank you so much for the subscription. And I'm very glad you were able to join us this week. This is a very good time to start. Oh, thank you so much, T-Boyce. Thank you so much. The Resistance appreciates your support. But again, thank you all. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we missed. I think this is about it. In the future, continue practicing, of course, so you can continue to be strong in case anything happens. You will be prepared, but you never know. You never know what to expect. So it's very important to be aware. And of course, if you would like to do more of this type of training, it's not always Jedi training, but Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m., you can come to level up your decks and get stronger. It works for Jedi training as well, of course, which is important. It's all important. Ah, yes. Yes, I've heard this thing that is happening. Seems important. Hopefully you all are enjoying it. Yes. Don't let friends saddle to the First Order. It's very important that they do not find out. We don't want Kylo Ren showing up. It's never a good thing when he's here. He smells bad. Don't recommend. All right. Well, I think that is it for today. So again, you can, even once we're off air, you can help support the Resistance. You can subscribe so that you can get more information as it is needed, or follow. It's also very helpful. If you don't want to do any of those things, that's also all right. If you share about us out into the world, again, just make sure that you only share with people you are confident and trust. But yes, that also helps. So make sure you tune into this channel. There are actually more things happening all the time. There's potential that I think there's a bit of cooking, which can be fun, that might happen soon. And also, if you enjoy role-playing games, I've been told that there is another channel, Saving Throw, in which there is a game tomorrow, what is today, Thursday? Tomorrow night, called Wildcards, in which they are college students fighting some sort of demon or ghost type thing. I'm not sure, really. But I did hear something about Christmas. I don't know what any of that means, but now you know. That's 8 p.m. Pacific time on Saving Throw. But yes, so again, yes, only with 1/4 portion. You never know what you're going to need and be prepared for. Oh, yes, there is some sort of meetup at Gen Con, which is nowhere near here. It's in Indianapolis, I believe. That is in a few weeks. But there will be a meetup, and I think it's all good people, so probably for the Resistance, if it's good people. It's usually how it works. But again, thank you all. I think we will sign off for today. If you have any other questions, you can always contact Megan here at her Twitter handle. She can give you more information. She always can get in contact with me as well. But again, thank you all for joining us for this Jedi training. May the Force be with you all.